But I want to play you a piece of video from the 2011 North Shipping Conference.
Our numbers are so big that sometimes I think that we may look like something that is unfeasible. We can do it.
We can do it. Now, a lot of you may be laughing at that, of course, because Petrobras has had a lot of problems. The offshore industry is heavily involved down there. Christian, you're involved down there. Your perspective or your frustrations?
Wow. Do I have an hour?
I'll give you a watch that makes it fast time, okay?
We have 1,200 people in Rio. We've been there for more than 20 years and a large market share. And most of our employees, practically all of them, are Brazilian. We have interacted with Petrobras organization for all that time. We know them extremely well. We see some of the greatest engineers and capabilities of any oil company organization in Petrobras. However, they are half government run. There's a lot of politics on the top, and the organization of Petrobras is not empowered. And I think that's the greatest problem of Petrobras itself. In addition to that, the country is a very complex place to be, because you have dependence on permits, licenses, etc. And each agency that provide these licenses and permits operate quite autonomously. And there is no political ability or will, it seems, to actually make things happen from above. And that is what the country, Brazil, is really suffering from today.
Well, it's very interesting because one of our speakers yesterday, Andreas Pau, for those of you who were yesterday from the BW group, he talked about what he called state capitalism, which is a very different brand of capitalism, and how that can lead to distortions in the market. This theory of this idea of competitive advantage does not work because you're trying to build local content and so on and so forth. Are you seeing this as a big problem in other areas as well? And how does this challenge you? And how does this challenge the offshore industry as well?
Yeah, local content in many, many countries. The countries are looking not only to exploit their resources, but to provide jobs for their people. And that's a clear priority. And it actually is something that goes really in the face of what we've been doing very effectively, is getting a global rig fleet, getting global commitments from wellhead suppliers to allow us, for our deep water business, to have a conveyor belt of projects coming through. So we've got to overlay that with these local content requirements. And that is an area we have to find the right sweet spot.
Yeah.
I'll just add on the local content that you must remember that the local content is in the interest of the industry. We don't want to buy any services in Norway if we can get it in Brazil. Or when we are in Africa, if we can get it locally, that is much more efficient and economical. However, when the politicians in their ivory tower dictate 65% local content, to take an example, without knowing what that means, they are forcing an industry which is not natural, and that industry end up with products that are so highly priced that they can't compete on the world market. Is that in the interest of the nation? I doubt it.
Remy?
Yeah, I think the delays that we have seen should not overshadow some of the successes we have seen in Brazil in the past. I mean, they have broken a lot of boundaries, moved into new frontiers, and we in DNV, we have 300 engineers there, and as you said, very talented, very good. I think what they've done now is maybe going too fast and maybe demand too much on a short time.
And in fairness to Petrobras, the CEO wanted to be here and was planning to be here, but then couldn't be here because of another commitment. But as Sergio Gabrielli, the former CEO, said 2 years ago on this stage, if you want to operate in Brazil, you have to become Brazilian. And I think that's perhaps worth keeping in mind.